a service of CNC Worldwide.
CNC podcasts are a service of CNC Worldwide. They are brought to you by the Greece Chamber of Commerce, providing more than 800 member companies with business solutions since 1984. A 17-year-old Rochester girl was stabbed by her 12-year-old sister Thursday evening in what police are calling a domestic incident. Officers were called about 7 p.m. to the 200 block of Avenue D and found the girl who'd been stabbed in the torso. She was taken to Rochester General Hospital and is expected to recover. Police arrested the 12-year-old on an assault charge. Her identity is not being released because of her age. She'll be handled in family court. Rochester Schools 5 and 28 are reopening with a new look this year after a complete renovation under the city school district's facilities modernization plan. Both schools were closed last school year. Parents and students of School 28 got a tour of the changes Thursday evening in an open house. Principal Susan Ladd says the renovated schools have air conditioning, computer and science labs, new communication systems, many other state-of-the-art upgrades. Tony Stewart is returning to Sprint Cup racing Sunday night at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, ending a 3-race hiatus following the accident that killed driver Kevin Ward, Jr. Ward was hit by Stewart's car at a dirt track race in Canandaigua after he got out of his car following a wreck and ran onto the track. The Ontario County Sheriff's Office is still investigating the death and said this week it has nothing further to report at this time. NASCAR says Stewart is cleared to race on Sunday.
Stewart just hit that guy, Alex. Tony Stewart just hit that guy.
In Wyoming County, a couple is accused of medical neglect after their teenage daughter suffered a seizure and died in a Buffalo hospital. The Wyoming County Sheriff's Office says a grand jury has indicted Jeremy and Astrid Eichler of Castile with criminally negligent homicide. They say the 15-year-old girl was stricken because she wasn't getting medication for a known medical condition. The man accused of raping a 14-year-old girl in downtown Rochester last week, hours after he was released from prison, has been indicted by a Monroe County grand jury. The charges against 23-year-old Michael Carruthers haven't been unsealed yet, but police have already charged him with felony rape and commission of a criminal sex act. He was paroled a week ago from his second stay in prison and was supposed to check in at the Salvation Army shelter near the Liberty Pole downtown. But Carruthers never checked in, and the girl was raped while walking near the Liberty Pole the next morning. Prosecutor Sarah Van Strydock says the girl will testify against Carruthers. The Rochester mother who left her son in her car while she went to work has been sentenced to a year of probation in a plea deal. Thelma Louise Edwards pled guilty to endangering the welfare of a child in return for the reduced sentence. The charge will be reduced to a non-criminal violation if she stays out of trouble for the entire year. The 22-year-old Edwards told deputies she couldn't find anybody to watch her 4-year-old and she didn't want to lose her job at a restaurant in Victor, so she left him in her car in the parking lot while she went to work. Polls call her little known, but the other Democrat that's challenging Governor Andrew Cuomo for the party's nomination in next month's primary is campaigning hard. She was in Rochester Thursday. Zephyr Teachout is a Fordham University law professor. She opposes Cuomo for playing too close to center, offering tax breaks to corporations, and putting more attention on the business climate than education and infrastructure. Teachout says Cuomo has done some things she agrees with, including the New York SAFE Act, but she says he failed to deal with campaign corruption and big donor funding when it struck too close to his own interests. 150 J.P. Morgan Chase employees did the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge this week in downtown Rochester in front of the Chase Tower. Vice President Jim Joyce says the bank was challenged. Its New York office responded, and the Rochester office also answered to raise money for ALS research. The Rochester Institute of Technology is mourning the death of a graduate student. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office says 24-year-old Timothy Holmes of Georgia was found dead in a townhouse where he lived with roommates at 211 Loden Lane in Henrietta. There was no obvious cause of death. Nothing suspicious was found. The case has been turned over to the Monroe County Medical Examiner. Holmes was doing his grad work at the National Technical Institute for the Deaf. Rochester Mayor Lovely Warren has rolled out what she and city police call the Books and Bears initiative. The mayor's office says the city is working with Browncroft Community Church on a program in which police officers offer teddy bears and children's books to children they encounter at the scenes of violent crimes and other traumatic events. They're hoping it will make things a little easier for the kids and that they'll remember police officers in a better light when they're older. Your next CNC podcast is whenever you click on one of these pages and catch one. We post updates as necessary. I'm Bud Lowell, CNC News.